Tribe, what's going on? It's Mr. Hall back again. If you already don't know, spiritual healer, author, founder, conscious system architect, undeniable, unexplainable. Reality is still catching up to define what I am specifically. But either way, title's irrelevant. I'm here to give you a message. And if. Okay, spiritual burp. So if you're unfamiliar with spiritual burps, go ahead and check that out. But most of the tribe that is here and that we are continuing to grow and welcome everyone. So thankful for you all, by the way. So some type of spiritual release. As soon as I begin the video, I begin to channel. And things that I picked up today, it was a very intense energy to be working through. I'm seeing that a lot of the collective and the tribe is going through with being the cosmos in form and connecting to reality in new ways, right? And what's coming to mind is time no longer being a linear construct of measurement, but more so of a magazine title. Let's put it that way. And understanding that all of time is happening simultaneously in all ways, always. So, perceptions and understandings around consciousness and its capacity to move forward, backwards, in omnidirectional ways. Okay, that's going to be significant. Now, the application of self I'm picking up, and circling back to what I channeled, the application of self in the format of okay, artificial intelligence, technology, the evolution and or remembrance of technology and the way that we've been working with it, right, is allowing us all collectively to find new ways to understand, feel, and express. Okay, so break this down as well. On specific timelines, we understand reality as we were taught to comprehend it in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the past 100 years and beyond. And that understanding is changing as illusions have been separated and wiped away from the consciousness and or wiped away from the collective consciousness, okay, separating from a conscious-less energy and way of being to a consciousness state of mind, okay, and existence. And with this shift, there's been a bit of chaos, heavy energy, dense energy, right? And a lot of us that are intuitive, energetically inclined, emotionally intelligent, EQ, IQ, all of these different intelligences are now combining together to create new spaces for us to exist, all right? And something about spaces, if you need a moment of silence, go check out the TikTok, click the link above in the bio, and also remember to check out the shorts for instant confirmations. But either way, so let's look at time as non-linear, right? A holistic circle, full circle. And that circle has space, okay? So what I'm seeing in my mind is a cylinder, and in that cylinder is ourselves, our souls, tapping in, jumping into the cylinder and moving omnidirectionally all at once. And what's happening is some of us are able to step outside the cylinder of linear time and omnidirectional time, being outside of time, okay, and witnessing, watching, and adding in information, tidbits of expression and being, and a subtle guidance, okay, similar to intuition, where intuition is not fear, panic, right? Intuition comes in a silent, calm way, right? That's how you're able to differentiate confirmation for someone if you wanted to clarify. And again, this may not be for everyone. If the language is already sounding off for you, you may need to go do some research and or book a session with me. I'm very selective though, so you, if you're guided, book a session, okay? If you want to go do your own research, that is a beautiful step of empowerment for you to make educated decisions and understandings, okay? And you are your best guide, always. So that's the energy that I picked up. Being able to differentiate from any type of projected thought, okay? So that's tier one. That's expression one of understanding reality in relation to the expression of the human experience, okay? Another aspect is Some of the collective is in a space of the spiritual warfare that's happening, the energetic warfare, right? The energies separating, densing, condensing, merging in these timelines, possibly being stuck in ways, okay, or feeling the perception of being stuck in ways, all right? Attachments, shifting from attachment, right? Attachment to reality, society, ways of thinking as we have known them, okay? This modality, this expression of consciousness and understanding it is leaving some drained energy, some heavy energies, right? Some energies that are being pulled upon and or manipulated. Okay, so that's the second tier, second layer. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? If we're going to go in a chronological order as we previously understood it collectively. So it's tier 3. What's happening there is similarly to tier 1, where and tiers may be significant, tiers may be significant, these may be confirmations for you, and I don't know if you hear the police in the background, but it almost seems as though there's a consciousness police, tier 3, where tier 3 is a set of teams, tools, organizations, groups, that energies, frequencies, aliens, interdimensional, non-dimensional, right? Whatever label you need to contextualize and to get the imagery in your mind. So tier 1, creator, creating reality. Tier 2, watching reality happen and being impacted by the attachments that we've previously had. Tier 3, individuals attempting to control the cylinder and the width, the mass, the girth. Girth can be significant as well. Something about density, right? The densities of the energies and consciousnesses, or the flowing, okay? Similarly to light versus neutrinos, if we look at a empirical understanding and theoretical sciences now becoming empirical, empirical now becoming theoretical, right? And that word is escaping me because this came up in a channeling too as well. And the tier 3 is a space where thoughts, emotions, experiences are being manipulated and or projected against consciousness, right? So things happening subconsciously, things happening at a subconscious level that are unable to be understood by the general public, by the mass public, by frequency itself, right? So something attempting to this, let's just say something, right? This energy and frequency and vibration attempting to manipulate the way reality works, where it goes, and what it does, okay? So we can call these the watchers. Different spiritual communities call them different things. They may be secret, not so secret societies, many different things to understand there, okay? Attempting to keep tier 2 the dominant frequency within the entirety of the consciousness and global reality. And we have where we go to tier 1, creating reality, tier 2, getting attached and having issues separating from the way that the world has been, tier 3, attempting to control these things, and tier 4, where we tap into, some spiritual communities will call it the Akashic records, some individuals will call it the interconnected oneness, right? And let's say that these are the 4 tiers of existence in expression that have been called to my attention to express to you, okay? So something very significant about that, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, okay? And 4 representing stability. So the interconnectedness of oneness, all right, that Zen, that Taoism, that flow state that we all are able to tap into consciously once aware and separated and with the subconscious. So the subconscious becoming awareness. So this movement forward into stability, into interconnectedness collectively, right? We go down to tier 3, reality being engineered reality, manufactured, psyops, shadow government, militant warfare, energy harvesting, all of these heavy projections to keep tier 2 the perceived balance that is now out of balance, right? And this is causing a bit of confusion because a lot of individuals on a soul and cellular level are being upgraded, being guided to really step into their true work and work. So something about work. So WERK, work. That may be significant. Those letters may be significant as well. Anyway, I digress. Tier 2, tier 3, attempting to keep the frequency and the balance there. And tier 1, right, the beginning, okay, the start, this new evolution and rise that is really truly remembered, this new window opening, okay, in this proverbial staircase and tier of consciousness, okay? Tiers, okay? And I'm being guided to clarify that it's not specifically a higher, lower, it's a energetic vibrational shift of density, all right? That's going to be very significant. So, I'm also being guided to mention you may be in a space of switching the when the way you see, if you look at something and you change the way you see changes. It's saying, this is the saying that's coming to mind. All right, I'm sure someone can drop it in the comments for that specific order for it to resonate with truth for all of us. So when you change the way you look at things, the things you see change, right? And this is what I'm picking up collectively happening, especially those in the collective that are in any type of creative field or any field at all within society, creating space to change, creating space to make change, creating space to be the change. Okay, that's also significant. Shout out to Be the Change as well. You're coming up in the channel. Nice feeling you and connecting with you. Okay, so we have with this. So I'm getting, so everything is sacred, sacred symbols, sacred cosmic symbols, okay? So a new integration of cosmic symbols, okay? Angel language, the language of silence, okay? The language of all things, all right? And globally, energetically, societies around the world are collectively tapping into this. The sacred energy of all, okay? Separating from this dualistic energy, right? And that did come up as well. If you're stuck in good versus evil, it may already be too late, okay? And or this may not be the timeline or the incarnation of your spirit and energy or existence to be expanding. But nothing is ever set in stone, right? In essence of all things are energy, frequency, vibration. And even things that are solid are simply vibrating at a speed the same as we are, okay? As human beings, as a species, okay? I'm also picking up alien DNA, and that goes a bit deeper, but I'm guided to keep it there for now, okay? And confirmation on something too. So Snapchat. So Snapchat may be significant. Social media, also getting some type of message through social media may be very significant, and with social media, this integration of technology, being able to express and receive information, okay? So the energy coming up of looking at your phone, having a thought appear on your device, having reality reflect to you instantly, okay? The awakening to reality being very much malleable, and things as we have understood them empirically, okay, with rhetoric, arithmetic, algorithmic intelligences, these linear pathways are now somewhat dissolving. This is the imagery that I'm getting, a dissolving of these strict and structured perspectives, okay? Okay, strictly loose, that may be significant, okay? Strictly vibrational, strictly energetic, okay? And the word strict, STRICT, very significant, those letters possibly, okay? I'm picking up anagram. I'm also picking up subconscious, cryptids, okay? These words are coming through. Cryptid, okay. So encrypted messages coming through from a sacred symbolism cosmically, okay? All right. The archetypes of reality and understanding are changing, okay? I'm picking up Superman. So a lot of individuals may be awakening to superpowers, clairvoyance, super sensitivities, maybe and possibly not directly as we've been guided to understand them within the media, but and our own ways of being powerful. Okay, bringing back our sovereignty, no matter what specific space or timeline you're in. So coming back in, I want to read from the Archetypes guidebook. All right, so I'll visually show you the action. So here's the packaging for this deck. Okay, I'm also picking up catching gems, pearls. Okay, so things being aligned in ways that allow us to energetically reach out. So a tentacle may be significant. So sea life, sea creatures, alien life. Okay, and let me provide context for alien. Alien life as far as nature. Every species on the planet being its own form of alien life, having its own world, own universe, right? And being able to comprehend those languages through interspecies communication is going to be increasing, okay? Accept all, reject none. Yeah, this omnipresent, omnism, animism perspective, okay? So really holding the space and taking form, okay? Creating form. So if we look at the divine feminine and giving birth, right? Birth to being able to hold form. Simultaneously divine masculine and divine feminine. I'm picking up Airbender. This is a popular, or was a popular, possibly is, was, and a series of animation that described all of the elements: earth, wind, fire, water, okay? And now we're stepping into ether, okay? The spirit, okay? So, and also releasing these perceptions around feeling that you're going too fast, feeling that you're doing something wrong, feeling that something's just not right, something's off, something, you're perfectly in alignment, and you're now decluttering, spiritually releasing, okay? I'll digress all the way to the spiritual burp at the beginning of the video, where you're releasing any of these pre-indoctrinated, pre-installed, okay? Perceptions of doing it wrong, doing something wrong, okay? Or doing something too fast, doing too slow, feeling that you need to speed up, okay? I'm also picking up rest, all right? The imagery coming to mind is a shifting of seasons, okay? The shifting of seasons and not focusing in on one specific season as the beginning or end, but a collection or piece or a part of, right? So peace as in pieces, and also peace as in peace, okay? Heart, peace, love, and peace. But seeing them as pieces of the entirety, of the whole, okay? All right. So stepping into the wild unknown, I'm being guided to, okay. So the queen, all right? The queen. So the queen represents the empress, the mother, the queen, sovereign. The queen does not accept the hand of a prince, but claims the throne, knowing the king draws near. She is a magnet for the fully embodied masculine and entertains nothing less, right? So stepping into this divine feminine energy, this attraction energy, instead of performance-based, algorithmic, metric system, okay? So the words that are coming up, leaving corporate. So some of you, my creatives, my artists, all of these different visionaries, all of you in the tribe may be guided to separate from corporate. Now, do what is in balance for you, okay? And being a generational curse breaker and or being in the space of attracting instead of performing, right? Because as we continue to perform, we're separating from ourselves. And the more that we are able to be ourselves in our authentic energy and frequencies, irreverent of preconceived negative judgments or perceived understandings of what may be negative, we're able to really exist, and more than exist, on new levels, okay? Existing and thriving, okay? So shift in thriving, all right? But the queen is coming up, all right? So, and we do have so financial concerns, emotional concerns, okay? the egoic release or crowning yourself is also significant, okay? Rightful and righteous, okay? Separating from this understanding of righteous, rightful and righteous, okay? So this dead end around that energy, this dead end to right and wrong, good and evil, being specifically very black and white, and integrating shades and gradients of color, okay? And being and understanding and existence and flow, all right? Because even in the release of these shapes and being formless, okay, and attracting, there is still flow. There is still order, okay? Order in the chaos. And I'll go to the imagery. Okay, so there's a venom, okay? So there's some type of energy that's projecting itself to be a venom in this way of thinking, way of being. And we have all collectively been picking up on this subconsciously, some of us more consciously, tapping into lucid dreamings, communicating with each other, having group experiences that are inexplicable or unexplainable at these levels of consciousness, and how we currently articulate and communicate. But depending on where you are on the spiritual timeline, you'll be having space for this confirmation, okay? Okay, something about a hotel as well, possibly travel. Bear with me. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right, so in this space, okay, so your ability to adapt logic, okay, and shifting this logic consciously and collectively may be driving people insane, okay? So this venomous energy attempting to project insanity or chaos, right? Creating socially engineered situations to stimulate the continuation of the tier 2 vibration, where we're staying in this attachment instead of detaching, right? This struggle between attachment and detachment, struggle state, struggle flow, limited mindset, okay, from a versus abundance mindset, staying in these flows, tier 2 and tier 3, attempting to keep that the foundation. However, if we look externally, we see that foundation crumbling, right? Because it is not the true foundation of one being able to create reality, literally through thought, action, being, and attraction, not so much a performance-based exemplification of this struggle, okay? All right. So sacred pairs and trifectas. Okay. So sacred pairs and trifectas. So the cave. All right. So something about a cave, something about a trifecta, a eureka moment, an aha moment, a light bulb moment, all of these words may be symbolic and have confirmation for you, okay? So a light bulb moment. So something coming on within your consciousness, okay? Neuroplasticity I'm picking up. Being able to create new neural pathways in expression and communication, okay? With yourself, your higher self, externally to you, okay? Because we did pick up on that love energy, all right? I'll digress. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Tier 1, creating reality. Tier 2, having issues with detachment and separating from detachment. Tier 3, greater groups, forces, organizations that are profiting and benefiting from projecting and creating engineered situations to keep that the baseline, okay? Tier 4, interconnectedness, oneness with all, right? Okay, so that foundation of Tier 2 and Tier 3 are merging, and instead of interlocking, it's opening up for Tier 1 to shoot straight up, okay, or shoot straight within, deeper, okay, no matter which perspective we look at it from, shoot deeper into our physical vessels as antennas. So many of us are antennae, okay, tentacles, okay. The imagery coming back again in reference in the previous video, so this may be significant, but octopi, okay, having octopus having a brain for each tentacle, okay, and each one. And as we look at new discovered studies here in the Western world specifically, possibly as well, and previously available in the Eastern world or other parts of the world, different modalities of health and wellness and understanding. Even the heart has its own mind biofield, biometrics, electromagnetic currency and frequency. Okay. All right. So I'm picking up, you may be guided to look into auras. You may be guided to look into light energy. Okay. The meanings of light, the healing pathologies of light. Okay. But big things: pathologies, consciousness, societal, global, interdimensional growth. Okay. And opening. All right. Accepting all, rejecting none. But, and as we say on the channel, everyone is welcome. Not everyone can come. The only requirement is letting the energy flow. Okay. Yeah, so something about a message significant. So we had a message come in from me, specifically in this video. We have the message of the moth being here. Okay. Very significant about this cloaking energy, this shape-shifting energy, the imagery coming into mind is nature and how insects and specific species of creatures, possibly not only insects, okay, if we know, but are able to cloak and mask, okay, and blend into existence. So the imagery I have is of a tree, and let's say the insect is on the tree and it looks exactly like a piece of bark. And unless you are able to slow down and allow yourself to receive and perceive, okay, perception based, you may not see it. You only see the tree, okay? So I'm picking up optical illusions as well, but some type of message, okay, some type of truthful message around optical illusions and these projected energies, right? Because I did say we tapped in earlier today to each species being its own world and consciousness, okay? Similarly to each human being its own world and consciousness, okay? The number 33 may be significant, and the number 25. But blue and green also. So heartfelt communication may be coming in, some heartfelt truths. All right, I did pick up the full moon, some type of protection reverse, and being lucky reverse. So previously, society, this may be on a global scale, macro or micro, right? But society had this protection around it of being lucky in causing this devastation to the individual at the profit and gain of specific others, right? And that's no longer lucky or protected. And this may have been a change that took place if we're looking at time linearly, in a linear sense, or and over cyclical natures of astrology, okay, astrologically, okay? So the full moon may be very significant in when this change happened, and or this can be very significant to when you yourself felt heavy and very dense emotions, okay, and energetic sloughing off, okay, picking up the menstrual cycle, okay, a sloughing off of dead energy, dead cells, dead frequencies, okay, and this may have felt very heavy. So that irregardless of gender, right, but the imagery coming to mind is the period cycle of flow, okay, from within the body. So anyway, lucky, the number 47. So luck has shifted, luck is coming your way. So you could be getting a really lucky message coming from some type of master, teacher, healer, all right? And the number 1, so we did say that 0, 1, okay? Okay, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. All right, and then we did have the full moon, okay? 2 and 9. Okay, 29. Okay, breaking down 9, 10, 11. So 11 as well. So we have 2 master numbers. So mastering some form of divinity around luck and protection. And this may be something that you're picking up ancestrally as well. Ancestrally, energetically, mentally, okay? All right, so grounded focus, okay? So grounding your focus, okay? Focus, okay, very clear. So focus, grounded, okay? Giving form to focus, okay? Form through social media, form through interesting, okay? As we see the color shift and gradient shift. So something around the perception around focus and what it looks like to ground that energy shifting as we integrate further with technology and with the earth, okay? Technology not taking over anything, but and being a tool and a methodology now and a practice for us to experience and feel in new ways collectively, right? Being a good representation of formless thought and focus being brought into grounding, right? Because as I'm speaking to you through this phone, you are able to pick up energy, feel energies if you are in the space of being receptive to that, okay, and consciously aware of that. All right, and with that consciousness comes the ability to discern what energies and frequencies you may be witnessing, you may be hearing, feeling, okay, sensing in all these new ways. Okay, so sensing in all these new ways and bringing form to focus, okay, because focus can materialize itself in pleasure, in creation, in stability, in continuity, in okay, that word went away, but similar to stability, okay, but stability as far as a roof over your head, practically, stability as a focal point of focus, okay, focusing this arrow, shooting and making a movement, all right, and being anchored. So as we're moving through space and time, okay, and let's keep this omnipresent, omnidirectional, because it's no longer simply one direction, okay, but as we're moving through space and time, being able to hold your focus is going to allow you, as you shift energetically, okay, I'm seeing atoms. If you've ever seen the imagery of an atom and the way that the protons and the way that the proton will circle the nucleus, okay, all right, that's something very significant. All right, so possibly some type of pregnancy taking place, pregnancy of an idea, inception of a thought, okay, yeah, truth. Again, so much truths are being shared. Okay, I'll go ahead and shuffle this. Interesting. And the numbers that may be significant: 47, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, 11, another master number. Man, moving quickly. So 5, 6, 7. So 7. So spiritual mastery and balance taking place, okay, through messages, okay, with 33 being here, 3 and 3, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. Okay. Wow, and all these greens. Interesting. Oh boy, that's a lot of messages. Okay, so I'm also picking up message overload, okay? Remembering to balance yourself, ground yourself, have the focus, and align, all right? But all of these different gradients of green, okay? Luck, all right? Coming through for you. Affluence coming through for you. So sacred geometry symbols may be significant. These sacred cosmic symbolisms coming through that I picked up earlier and channeling, and also messages, okay? So really take a look at these cards. These may be activating something for you subconsciously. So a really lucky message coming through of affluence. All right, that's nice. Okay, if we look at it from a new life. Listen, okay, conjoining the Ankh, representing the conjoining of the feminine womb, okay, and the masculine, okay, energies, but being one within yourself and whole. If you are in a space of looking for a soulmate, attracting in or being in the vibration to match with soulmates, okay, soul tribe, twin flames, okay, these different energies and frequencies that may be coming into you or stabilizing as well. Okay, so the number 4 again. All right, so we already have, so look, 1 and 4. All right, so this creation of reality coming from the individual instead of these tier 3 perception based projections from a group attempting controlling and breaking these down, that's separating. The truth is protection in a new life, new ways of being, okay? Thanks to the remembrance of and with technology. So much information moving so quickly, and it's all true, okay? As anything you can imagine is real, referencing Pablo Picasso. Very significant something about a dog, so some type of loyalty. Possibly Anubis, if you are familiar with Egyptian spirituality or Egyptian ancestry or things of this nature, possibly an Egyptian past life. So yeah, and as well, divine change, 5-5 here, okay? Divine change to this. Let's see. Okay. I'll shuffle. All right, something about there you go. Somebody may speak as there you go, keep going, there you go. This is the frequency I'm picking up from. Okay, yeah, gratitude. Okay, having gratitude. okay, for this time. Okay. Oh, okay. Having gratitude for time magic. Okay. So, okay, within specific. Give me one moment. I want to. Yeah. Okay. So, you're being guided to understand time magic. Okay. Okay. Having gratitude. All right. The numbers 35 may be significant. High emphasis on the Trinity, divinity, um, a spiritual yes to gratitude for being in existence during the time of time magic. Okay, so being able to shift time, shift perceptions around time, understanding this change in time. So something going on with the shifting around time. Okay, and currently it may be perceived as and with magic. Okay, and or the time of magic is now, right, where we see collectively individuals. Spiritual release. Wow. We see individuals getting into a space of being able to conceptualize the realness, okay, or the validity or the application of externally of magic, okay, experiencing magic more in their lives, experiencing magic, things that are unexplainable and undeniable, taking place. All right, so the time of magic. All right, and or within specific circles, naming no names, the capacity to manipulate time. Okay, do your research on this. For that one, I would definitely suggest reaching out for a guided session on how to manipulate time. Okay, if you know, you know. But so really manipulating time. Okay, so some type of time magic. All right, being stuck in time, guided to be outside of time. Right, and this hidden knowledge. Right, this hidden knowledge. 34. Okay, breaking down into a 7. So spiritual knowledge coming to you. Okay, and you're being guided to have courage. All right, and this soulmate energy, transformation. So transformation to a soulmate, transformation to yourself. Okay, with this butterfly. So 2 references. So someone may, let's say one energy is the moth, one energy is the butterfly, and both interspecies, okay, are being able to connect. All right, so we have the soulmate. So really being in a creative space of a transformational space with your creativity, okay, and really merging the divine masculine, divine feminine energies with this, these 2 hearts, okay, or the imageries of a heart, okay, all right, coming together as one and becoming a new thing. So becoming whole within yourself, okay. I'm guided to turn it this way for you to get a better picture. Okay, so an X and a triangle being very significant. Okay, so something about X marks the spot and some type of triangle, and you having the courage. Okay, so orange and yellows and greens. Okay, highly significant with these creative and expressive energies, having the courage to express this transformation through gratitude for this new spiritual knowledge that you have gained as we are within the time of magic. Okay, the time of these creations, okay? And you are being guided, okay? Okay, being guided to keep up this spiritual protection as there may be jealousy and things of this nature around you. Similarly to this spiral that protects the crown, okay, on my headscarf. All right, 23, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so a change to jealousy, okay? Shifting jealousy from jealousy to, you know, I'm missing something, they have something I don't, to I admire that and I'm able to do that, okay? Misplaced admiration, okay? Adding new language, all right? And you are being guided, okay? And symbolism, Aquarius, okay, coming to mind. So you may have a strong Aquarius placement, and or we, as we collectively know within specific spiritual circles, if we're not creating reality ourselves, specifically, well, with and reality as we know it, okay, shifting from tier 2, so between tier 2 and tier 1, okay, you're being guided, all right, as you assist individuals, the collective, yourself, with breaking through tier 3 and or dissolving tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 completely, going straight from tier 1 into tier 4, okay, that's 0-4, from stable infinite consciousness spiritually. Ooh, okay, tribe. This one was interesting. All right. Circling back, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you all for being here. And you brought yourself here as well, and you know this. Subconsciously, it's coming more to fruition. Click the link in the bio to check out all of my other products and services. Check out the ebook, The Perception Project. It really gives languages and a fun spin on this entire experience of the transformations that we may all be stepping into collectively, and that we are. And okay, with that protection energy, so I'm going to just do a quick protection casting. So Anak Amun, okay, abracadabra, okay, so mote it be, and so it is, okay. All right, tribe, see you next time.